Good afternoon, Tammy. Welcome to Building Local Business.
Hi, Carl.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. On this podcast, we meet with local business owners, and we kind of learn what they're doing, how they're working with the community, and what exciting things they have going on.
Okay, great.
Awesome. So, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Tammy Crossway. I own and operate Renewed and Rescued on North Main Street in Herkimer. It's a thrift consignment store, many things.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. I've been in there a few times, and it's great.
Yeah.
How long have you been open?
A little over 7 years. So November 1st, we celebrated our 7-year anniversary.
Awesome. 7 years. That's quite a long time. So you're doing good then.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We've grown quite a bit. We started in about 1,800 square feet, and now we're just under 12,000 square feet.
Okay, and have you been in the same location the whole time?
Yeah, same location. We started actually, for those of you that have been to the store, we started in the room called Mama's Country Cupboard now. That's where we started. And then we progressed into the hallway, across the hall, and then we took over the whole floor. And in July, we expanded next door where Wakefield Furniture used to be.
Awesome. So you are growing and growing and growing. Is it ever going to stop, or are you going to keep going?
I have no more room to grow.
No?
I wish I did have more room to grow because we do have a waiting list for vendors. We just recently, I just counted the other day, we have 42 vendors now. And I have a little over 500 consignors. So there's a difference between the consignment and the vendors in how we sell things or how they sell things. But we'd love to grow bigger. I know the building is huge, but the upper floors aren't quite ready yet. I know Joe, the owner of the building, is kind of working on that to hopefully we can both expand a little bit more.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
I
want to tell you, he did mention that to me when I was over there the other day. Yeah, he said, "Yeah, we're doing some more up here, and so be ready for that."
Yeah. I know he wants to expand up there as well.
Yeah.
So it's he needs more room too. So we're both kind of getting to that point.
Yeah, it's a beautiful and spacious place, and I'm imagining what it's going to be like when you guys get even more stuff going on. Is it hard to keep track of it all? 24, you said, vendors?
42
and
42 vendors.
42.
Yeah, and about 500 and a little over 500 consignors. It is not, because we computerize everything. I'm one of those people that I don't want to have to keep track of anything by hand anymore.
Right.
So computers are great until they're not, as we all know. But we computerize everything, whether they be vendors or consignors. So it helps us keep track of things. Plus, we, as many vendors as I can, barcode label everything, or QR code, so we can scan everything, and it's just automatic through the computer. So we keep track of everything that way.
That's efficient.
Yeah.
So what did you do before you opened Renewed and Rescued?
So while I was still working, I have my bachelor's degree in accounting, and I was in the nonprofit world for 20 plus years. Most recently, as Chief Financial Officer of Glimmerglass Opera, Glimmerglass Festival, as it's known now. And I did that. I was Chief Financial Officer at Fulmont Community Action before that, and then I've been in accounting since. So all my career I was in nonprofit accounting. And I just, in 2018, I think I hit a midlife crisis. I'm not sure. But I was like, let's open a consignment store. So we did. And when we opened, it was just we only did a couple days a week. And my mom, who's still with me, she ran it for me while I was working full time. And then I would do the weekends and some Fridays. And then once COVID hit and we kind of went through all of that, during that period of time, I realized I just didn't want the stress of corporate world anymore. So I kind of eased my way out of Glimmerglass, and I just did consulting with them for a year, payroll, that finance consulting, stuff like that. Excuse me. And then I just kind of eased my way out, and then I was at the store full time, and then we've now added, so we're 7 days a week now, so I'm there all the time. But the stress level is much different than it was working in corporate.
Right. So your entire background, you were doing like managing and administrative stuff, so that explains why you're so good at keeping track of everything.
Yeah.
Is there any specific skills that you would say really were crucial that you had before that you needed before you were able to start the business?
I think just having that administrative finance background, I'm very good with numbers. I always have been. Of course, I can't add 2 and 2 in my head now anymore, but I think having that kind of knowledge, plus my husband owned a small business when we met, so I was kind of doing his back end stuff for his business as well. And I've always been one of those people that wants to be in charge of things and take control of things as far as that goes. So I think I've always had that skill. But there's things I've learned along the way, too. I think everybody does when you work for yourself.
Business is a learning experience every single day.
Every day, yeah.
Problem solving and learning.
Yeah.
So is everything pretty much going as you had imagined 7 years ago?
It's actually, I guess, it's better than what I had imagined. I mean, the picture in my mind was just that small 1,800 square feet, just doing consignment with a few people a couple of days a week. I don't think I ever dreamed it would be what it is today. I'm very proud of what we've done. I wish there's more ideas that I have. There's more things I want to do. But then part of me is, I don't know if I want to do it now. I'm at that point in my life where I just want to, I don't necessarily want to retire, but I want to kind of scale back a little bit. So eventually I'd like to find somebody to either run the store or take over the store at some point. But I'm still kind of going back and forth with that because it's my baby and I don't want to give it up.
Yeah, so you're trying to scale back on
me,
stuff that you're doing, but not
the
business.
The store. No.
Yeah, I find that a lot of business owners are in that same boat. They want to be all hands in everywhere. Yeah. And they have a hard time pulling back and letting other people take the reins a bit.
You do, yeah, because it's your baby and you've built it, and we've built it to where it is. Between my mom and I, and God knows I couldn't have done it without her. But I want to take a step back a little bit, but I don't know if I can.
Gotcha. Are you looking to find the right person to do it outside of people you already have working with you?
Not necessarily outside of who I have. I don't think the people that I have with me now, I don't think they want to. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a way that they're not at the point in their lives where they want to scale back too. They don't want to, do more than they're already doing. So, and I get that. So that's why I don't know what I want to do. We still have a little over a year on our lease, so there's time for me to decide what I want to do. But I definitely don't want to give it up, and I don't want it to go away because it is such an asset to the community, and there's so many people that we help in Herkimer, and especially in Herkimer, because we have a lot of foot traffic because of where we are. And there's a lot of folks in like the senior housing, Ulinski Apartments, for example. They all call us the girls. We're going to see the girls, which we love. And we don't want to leave because of them, because of the local people that we have. Yeah. We do have a lot of people from outside of the area. We have a map at the store where we keep track of where everybody's come from. And we've had people as far away as Japan and South America. And yeah, we are international, which is really cool.
That's great.
Kristen came up with that idea a couple of years ago. So we've been doing that for a little over a year, and it's really cool to see where people are coming from.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give that up at all. It's just my role in it is I'm kind of going back and forth about.
So you have people coming from all over the world. How do you get the word out to them that you exist and that it's a good stop?
Yeah, that's the biggest struggle. We still have 7 years later. I just had people the other day. Well, we live right here in Herkimer. We had no idea you were here. That's the biggest comment we get. Or they're not. Well, how long have you had to just open? Like, nope, we've been here for 7 years. And then, they're like, oh my God, but it's hard now to get advertising or to get the word out that you're anywhere because nobody gets their information from the same place anymore. When we were young, it was the newspaper or the television. That's where everybody got their information from. Now, between Facebook and Instagram and whatever, you name it. It's
I
it's
see
just
you're very
hard.
active on Facebook.
Yeah, so we do have a marketing team that does our Facebook, and then we have Carl, who you guys do our digital media. So we've just started doing both of those this year. We started with the Facebook group that's Nubbies and Tails from, I think they're in Fort Plain, that area, and they do a great job for us on Facebook. We immediately saw an increase in customers based on that. And then once we started advertising with you, of course, we saw an increase in customer base from that too. So that was a huge help. But the only advertising that we haven't done is billboard, because it is kind of pricey.
It's very pricey in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't know if that would solve that problem of people not, because if people are just in Herkimer and if they don't travel to Utica or if they don't travel someplace, they're not going to see the billboard either.
Right.
And there's no local newspaper anymore. I know Dave does the Little Falls paper.
No, it's not Little Falls.
It is the
Frankfurt to Fort Plain. Yeah.
Yeah. So and we advertise in there.
Yep.
And that is a help as well. But before you guys started, nobody was doing the Telegram or the Times anymore.
Just like you. We've been around 8 years.
Has it been? See? Has it been 8 years?
Yes, it has.
I know. It's just crazy how fast it goes, right?
I know.
But there's just no one place that everybody goes for advertising, and that's really hard.
Yeah, you have to hit all the bases.
Yeah.
Whether it's cork boards or word of mouth is really big too.
Yeah, it's huge, and we do have that loyal base of customers that do spread the word like crazy. But I think our biggest outreach is Facebook. I mean, that's where most everybody is. So we're thankful for that, and thankful for all of our support and everybody sharing and sharing with their friends and everything.
So how do you track the increase in business based on these different advertising avenues you're doing?
We have, for the past, I would guess, 4 to 5 years, people count. I know that's kind of archaic, but that's what we do. And
it's effective.
Yeah, it is. And we keep track. We do a monthly average, a weekly average. And then I also go back and do a sales average too. So I know, like, increase in dollars. Increase in people doesn't always necessarily mean increase in dollars, because it depends on who's spending. But as we all know, we have seen, I think this November, we were at 400 more people for the month than we were last year at the same time.
That's good.
So it's a huge increase.
Very good.
And now being open 7 days a week, that helped as well. So last year we started being open on Sundays, and then this May we started being open on Mondays. And the amount of traffic we get on Mondays is unbelievable. Never thought we'd get that many people on Mondays, and we really do.
I go around and see so many businesses, especially restaurants and stuff, closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's a new weekend or something.
Yeah.
And I questioned that. Like, when did that start happening?
But there's nowhere else to go. If you're,
Right.
like if you bring people to town, like here in Little Falls, almost nobody's open on Monday. You can't take them out to lunch or anything like that. It's like, we could go to Ann Street and, maybe Bonita's, and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah. So, we thought, well, it's a lot being open 7 days a week. It really is. And it just adds the amount of staff we have to have, or volunteers.
And you have to find help. You're doing a lot.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to have to be there 7 days, but I'm usually there 6, most of the time 7, but in some way, shape or form, I'm there. But yeah, so it took a lot for us to do that jump to 7 days, because we started 3 days, and then we did 4, and then we did 5, and then I was, we did 5 for a couple of 2-3 years, but like I said, I'm glad we started doing Mondays. Sundays are okay, and Sundays we close at 2, because I don't think we're going to get that many people after 2 o'clock. But Mondays has just been unbelievable.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you're gonna hit the front page of the Mohawk Valley Express tomorrow morning.
I am?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Lucky
That's
me.
That's great.
I knew I liked Dave for some reason.
Don't know what it was, but
So, did you ever consider maybe getting one of your vendors to help staffing, or do they do that, or?
I have a couple vendors that do volunteer. We have a pretty good staff right now. We've got a couple people out for various reasons, but we should be back to full capacity in January. It's unfortunate in December that we kind of, we had a couple people out for illnesses and stuff like that. Nothing you can do about it.
Right.
But we should be back to full capacity come January. We do have vendors that want to volunteer. I'm one of those business owners that I don't want my vendors to work per se, just for several kind of inside reasons.
That's understandable.
It
could create a conflict.
It
or
could,
something.
yeah, and so I don't want that conflict
Yeah.
to even take a chance of being present. You know what I mean?
Better be safe.
Yeah, and I'm more hands-on anyway, so I think, and my husband, who's now semi-retired, he says, he
In other words, he's retired but working all the time for you.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. I know that game.
So he's there with me quite a bit, so that helps a lot too. So
Very nice. Very nice. So do the vendors, do they come and go a lot, or do you kind of have long-term?
yeah, we have actually one of my longest vendors just retired last month. So he was I think he's in his mid 80s, somewhere around there, and
Wow.
he finally decided that he couldn't move for the furniture anymore. Of course, he was moving it by himself, which always amazed me that he was even doing that still by himself. But he'd been with us from the beginning, and he had 5 vendor spaces. So that was a lot for us when he left, but obviously, we certainly understood that he wanted to retire. And then we have probably 6 to 8 vendors that have been with us from the beginning. So we don't have a lot of turnover. We see that we do get vendors that come in and they're there for a couple of months and they're like, oh, well, I'm not doing that great. I'm going to leave.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
there's reasons why. There's many facets to a vendor mall, which I think a lot of people don't realize. I think a lot of people think that you can just come in, put your stuff there, and then leave and just pay your rent every month and just leave it. It's not how it works. If you want to make sales, you got to be there and change your product and change your booth around a little bit, at least.
And also advertise as well.
Yeah, you have to advertise for yourself, and that brings people in. And I always tell people that you're reaching people that we may not have reached because you're friends with different people than we're friends with, or they didn't know about us, or friends of theirs didn't know about us or whatever. But you have to refresh your booth at least twice, every other week, if not every week.
Really,
so
that
we
frequently?
Yeah, because the more you move your stuff around, the more it looks different, and people are like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't notice that before," and it sells.
sense.
Like the minute we move stuff, it sells. It's crazy.
I'm gonna start moving my website around.
It doesn't work like that with URLs, Carl.
Yours
No.
isn't going to work like that, Carl. But being in the consignments, when we started the consignment, we were always moving stuff around. Of course, we always cleaning too, so that helps you move stuff around more. And it looks fresh and it looks new and it looks different. So people are more apt to be like, oh, well, let me go in that booth because it looks different now than it did last time I was here.
That's great. So how do you attract vendors? Do you have to advertise for them, or is it word of mouth? Or?
It's pretty much word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times the customers, they're, what does it take to be a vendor? Or I've got a lot of stuff at
interesting.
home I want to get rid of. Or so then I usually have a talk with them to see like what they're trying to do. Because sometimes it's more of a consignment situation than a vendor situation.
Right.
So it depends on what they're trying to sell, or if it's mom's house that they're trying to just get rid of stuff. We do consignment for that stuff instead of a vendor booth. So it depends on that. And then we get a lot of friends of people that are already there. Like they have vendor friends,
Right.
So they suggest that they come and they be with us, or even downstairs, depending, because we do have a waiting list upstairs. We have it's not, we're kind of dwindling down on that now. So we'll probably, after the first of the year, be looking for more vendors. Because, you do get a lot of the new people. They're only there for a couple months and they decide to leave, which...
It seems like it's a good opportunity for a new business. If you're just looking into getting into a business, it might be, low barrier to entry with some opportunity there.
Yeah, because we've put the word out, and I had some interest, and then there was no follow through. But we are looking for people that do they make their own product, like breads or soap or candles, and we have one vendor now that's going to move in with soap and candles and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
But anybody that makes their own product.
So is that what you mean by consignment?
No, so that's consignment's a little different, but we wanted
Consignment's when they just drop you off, Carl, and try and sell you.
Yeah, when they're trying to sell you, which I don't know, Carl.
I've tried all my life and it didn't work.
We'll put $1 price tag on and see how much we got.
I never sold.
So consignment is where people bring things in, not people, but bring things in, and we try to sell it for them. And then they get a percentage of whatever we can sell it for.
Okay.
And then the vendors sell it for what they want to sell it for, and they get 100% of the profit. But we're looking to kind of expand Mama's Country Cupboard. So in there we have all local products, maple syrup, honey, and that kind of thing. But we're trying to, it's almost, in my mind, it's going to be like a farmer's market type thing.
Okay.
Just like Fridays and Saturdays. So people that do, like if you make your own bread and you need an outlet to try to sell that other than a farmer's market like in the summer, we're trying to get people to bring that in, and we'll sell it for them on a Friday and Saturday.
Right.
At a low cost for them, because it's only going to be a couple of days a week.
Right.
But that's been kind of my thought for a little while now, is to try to get that opportunity out there for people. Because like on Fridays and Saturdays now, we do Ramon's Bakery in Utica. We get their donuts and bring them in. So we'll go to Utica, get them, bring them in on Friday mornings, and we sell them on Fridays and Saturdays. They do fairly well. So we thought, well, why not expand on that thought?
Right.
And do, more locally sourced.
Yeah, and I saw you have
the
the Beltry sandwiches there.
Yeah, Beltry sandwiches. Yep. So they took over Kearney's Corners in Herkimer a couple years ago. I think they've been there. So we always order from lunch from there on Fridays. And so I talked to Lewis, the owner, and I'm like, hey, what about if we offer some sandwiches here? It'll promote your businesses, and also have another opportunity for my customers to have something for lunch if they wanted to just sit quick and have a sandwich.
Yeah.
So it's working pretty well, and I like to be able to support others. Local small businesses too, so it kind of helps him.
I love being able to shop locally.
Yeah.
I don't really care to go to Amazon or Walmart for everything. I like supporting the community, because otherwise all the money is just going out of state. And
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've been here, as you have, my whole life. I grew up in Little Falls, and I love the area. I've been here, and I've lived in every valley town from Little Falls to Frankfort, at some point in my life. And it's not what it used to be, but it can be better than it used to be too, if everybody wanted to support the local business.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing is obviously getting the word out that we're here, but also if people have ideas like, why don't we do this in the valley? Why not? Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do as a group. I find that a lot of people are so negative about the valley and what's here, but why don't we start trying to be positive about the valley and what's here?
Work on
I mean, I know there's a lot of abandoned buildings. There's a lot of abandoned buildings everywhere. It's not just in Herkimer.
Right.
It's not just in the valley. It's everywhere.
Yeah, speaking of the abandoned buildings there, the Main Street in Herkimer where you are, there's quite a lot there. Do you see any progress in getting...
We have seen a lot of progress actually in the last 7 years. So when we started, the buildings across the street were rented out. The upstairs were rented out, and there was a lot of issues with those folks. So the police department in Herkimer has been great helping us kind of clean up the area. And they're very responsive. If we have an issue, the minute I call, which isn't often, but things come up, people fall or people get hurt or there's a car accident or whatever. They've been great about helping us get things cleaned up. And so there's nobody living in the buildings across the street, thank God, because a lot of them are now condemned and they're scheduled to be taken down at some point. I don't know any of the details about that. But I know one of the buildings across the street, the one on the very end there by Park Street, that's sale pending. So, and we have gotten word secretly about.
You realize this isn't secret, right?
I know. That's why I'm not going to say anymore.
You're telling the media for crying out loud. Jeez.
I know. But we have gotten word about who's going to buy it and what's going to be coming. So it's positive. It's very positive.
You can tell me. I won't tell anybody.
Yes, you will, Dave.
I won't tell anybody.
So, so that's a great thing. And we're so happy about that. We just wish that the owners of the other buildings would either sell them if you don't want them, or, let's
Right.
do something,
Get something going.
Yeah. So, and I know where the hair was Al the barber. So he retired after 50 years, right? That's a long time. So they are remodeling his space where he was. So there's more to come there. And then Collis's obviously has been there for years, and they're great. So there's progress. There's, it's slow, but everything in the valley is slow.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because I think, the more meticulous you are about what you're doing, the farther you're going to get, and the more results you're going to get. So I'm hopeful.
That
I'm really
from an
hopeful.
accounting person. Listen to that.
Right?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I like doing things quick, so I don't always take the time to document in detail everything.
It's quick Carl. Wasn't there a quick call?
Yeah.
Carl commercial
Quick
kind of, what was it?
something, yeah.
Yeah, on
I don't
TV.
recall that.
Yeah, before your time.
I hear a lot
He's
of.
too young.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I hear a lot of Carl references, but that one I never heard. Yeah, so that's something we can look forward to. More businesses going up there, more activity.
Yeah.
Positive activity than
Yeah.
yeah.
There is, I mean, like I said, when we first started, there was a lot of bad seeds, to say, across the way, and but it's improved, and then it went down, and then it improved again, but now it's on the uphill swing. We haven't gone back, knock on wood, for a while, but everybody's really, really good about supporting us, and I think in the beginning people were afraid of Main Street. There was a phobia for Main Street
It
in
was
Herkimer.
a little rough for a bit there.
Yeah, and I get it. We used to witness it, but we wanted to. The reason we started where we started is, one, I love that building. I've always loved that building.
It looks so nice inside.
Yeah,
and
and-
especially with the way you guys have it decorated.
Thank you. Yeah, and we've put a lot
That's
of work
the story,
into
Carl, the windows.
the windows. Yes, that's the story. So we've put a lot of work into it, as has Joe, the owner of the building. And but when I was a kid, it was Kings Court Mall. I'm not old enough to experience Munger's. I really wish I was able to see it, from what I've heard. But we feel that we're kind of like, the rebirth of that building.
Yeah, you're doing it justice and
Yeah.
not a disservice. But
Yeah.
It really looks nice. It's beautiful in there. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. And
Yeah.
now, like you said, at Christmas, with our Christmas tree,
awesome.
and we have fun. Kristen, who works for me, she just has a ball doing the Christmas windows, and she's my artiste, as I tell. She does all the artwork on the windows, and she does an amazing job. And we just have fun with it, because it's one of those things you don't see everywhere. You don't
No.
see those big display windows.
It's very
everywhere.
thoughtful, though. I mean, you set scenes there and all,
Yep.
so it's really nice.
Yeah, and we try to do something different every time. We don't want to, keep decorating the same way. Like last year, my husband did one end, and it was like from A Christmas Story. So he had the Red Ryder BB gun and all that stuff.
I think I remember that. Didn't I do a story then, too?
I think, yes, you did. Yes, you did a story.
It's all
on us last
blending
year.
together.
Well, it's been 8 years, Dave.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's fun because it's some of those, like I said, one of those things that every business owner doesn't have that
Right.
fun to do,
Yeah. And it's always new and it's always fresh. So
Yeah.
that keeps the magic alive.
It does, yeah.
That's great. So let's see here. How was your Black Friday? Was it pretty busy?
It was busy, but not as good as it should have been because
Oh,
of
really?
the weather.
Yeah, the weather was rough.
It was a rough day. But Small Business Saturday was phenomenal. So it was
Good,
our
good.
best people day ever. So
Wow.
because we keep track. We're clicking away.
That's great.
And I'm sure we missed a few because we do have some people that do park out back and come in the back door and then go downstairs and come upstairs to us because, parking on Main Street is difficult sometimes. So there is that big parking lot out back. To
I've
remind
used it a few
people.
times. It's
I
convenient.
didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
I always find a spot, but I'm there early. So.
You're coming early.
Yeah.
So we had 209 people. That's how many people we counted that day, which is huge for us. Our last busiest day was our 5-year anniversary, which was November 1st, 2023. We had 207 people.
Wow.
So
That was
we
close.
just beat it. Yeah. But I think we missed a few people, which, you do anyway. But yeah, it was our best day ever. And November was our biggest sale month ever. So we
Good.
ended November higher than we've ever been, which is amazing. So I'm hoping for December. December is usually our busiest month of the year, for obvious reasons. So we're hoping to end the year with a bang.
Awesome. So what kind of bang do you have planned?
I'm not sure.
Not
It all
sure?
depends on my customers, right? So
Or if she tells me about what's going in on that corner store.
I'm not telling you. I'm not. My lips are sealed.
We'll see tomorrow morning when
Right.
I swing by.
So obviously, we got a couple things coming up in December. Tomorrow and next Friday, we're open to 8 p.m. both Fridays.
Oh,
Just for the holiday season.
that's great.
And then on December 20th, Santa's going to be in town.
There we go.
And so that's Saturday. We're going to be open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And Santa's going to stop by for a visit from 4 to 7. And then around 6 p.m., he's going to do hot chocolate and cookies and a story downstairs. And then the rest of the time, he'll be upstairs. 4 to 6, he'll be upstairs floating around. And he does have a goodie bag for the kids. So he does pass out goodies. Only if you're good, though.
Yes.
Only if you're good. Yeah.
I guess I better skip that.
No running inside.
So he'll be around, and we've had Santa every year since we've been open. So,
Really?
Yep. So he comes and sits by our big tree and hands out some gifts for the kids. And
That's great.
So we usually have a good turnout for that as well. Plus, it's probably his last stop before Christmas. So
Yeah, he needs a break.
he does. Yeah,
Yep.
he's got to get some sleep in before
Yep.
that big day.
Awesome. Is there anything that you wanted to announce or let people know?
No, I guess those events coming up, and like I said, if anybody has, ideas on the farmers market type thing we've got going on, and also I always tell people if you have any ideas of like kind of what do you want to see in the building,
Right.
is there a specific vendor that you want to see come in, or are there specific things you want to be able to buy at our store? Just let me know. We're always looking for new and exciting things. So, because a lot of the booths at the store too. So I have 42 vendors, but I occupy probably a dozen spaces myself between
right.
my stuff and then also our consignment stuff because we have to have space for that. So I always tell people if there's something in particular you'd want to see there, you want to be able to buy there instead of someplace else, or you don't want to have to go to Utica. You don't want to have to go to Walmart to get this one particular thing or an idea of something. Just let us know. We're always open for ideas.
How do they contact you?
So they can either call the store, so it's 315-628-1506, or they can email me, so it's renewed@gmail.com, or they can just stop by. I'm usually always there. If not, the girls can give you my schedule. But we're always looking for ideas. We're always ever changing, as those of you that have been with us from the beginning, and we have several customers that have been with us from the very beginning.
All 7 years?
All 7 years. Yeah, we have. I actually have consignors that still bring stuff to us that are like number 4. So we're up well over 600 with our numbering system now. Some of that's vendors, but. So we have people that have been coming to us religiously for 7 years, and I can't thank them enough. And we have people that come every day. We have people that come every week. We have people that come every time. We had a woman come. She travels every year at Thanksgiving, and she travels from Michigan to Massachusetts, and she purposely stops at our store.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, every year. It's always at Thanksgiving, so it's only once a year, but we do get to see her. She stopped by, I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday before Thanksgiving. She stopped by. She bought 53 cookies to take for the
Well, they're
holidays.
good. Those
Right?
are some good cookies.
Yeah, so we have a woman in Ilion that makes cookies for us, and they are we've sold. It's been a year and a half since we started selling those cookies. Thousands of cookies.
Wow.
I put in an order for probably 8 to 12 dozen of cookies a week.
Jeez.
That's how many we
That's
sell.
a lot of cookies.
Yeah,
You got to stop by and get some.
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
remember. Where are you hiding those?
they're right by the register, Dave. So if you bought something, you might see it. No, I'm kidding.
I'm usually covering something there.
Usually
or
taking
writing.
pictures, yeah.
This is how she gets so much sales.
She harasses me.
Right,
I have
exactly.
I've rubbed my wife in there, and she's bought stuff there. So don't.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing you. They're right by the register. But
She kept me away from those intentionally.
so we do, yeah. Those, but yeah. So we have those kind of people that they're traveling through the area and they found us at some point, and they just they keep coming back, which I am forever grateful for. Really, I am. But it's fun. We have fun. We laugh. We joke around with people. We care about our customers. There's a couple of customers. If they don't come in for a couple of weeks, we call them. And we ask them how are you okay? You haven't
Wow.
been in, because it's just the type of people we are. We're a
Right,
family, literally, and
It's really it's a friendly place to
It
walk
is.
into. They're
Yeah.
always so nice to everybody who comes in. So
yeah,
I
because,
get that too.
Yeah, and it's just that's the way we are. That's the type of people we are. We're not. We just treat everybody like they're our family, and because we think they are, because they keep coming in, and there's woman that calls us every week if she doesn't come in, just to let us know she's okay.
Wow.
That's good.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's just those people, and there's been some people that have passed away that come in, and we send cards and flowers and stuff like that because we care.
Yeah.
It's just the type of people we are.
Yeah, I notice you're big on community and
Yeah, I always have been. It's just, and that's why I started, and that's another reason I started this, was like, there's nothing like that in Herkimer or in the Valley.
right.
There was a New Hartford, or there still is a New Hartford, and Syracuse and all of that, but there's nothing in the Valley. I mean, there's Goodwill, and there's the Ark and Salvation Army, sorry. But there's no place, it's not a small business. Those are, corporately owned. So I wanted to, and we try to keep our prices low for those people that live in Herkimer and they can't afford a lot, but they want to get something for somebody, or they need something for themselves. It's affordable, and we do a lot at Christmas because it's affordable and people can afford to get just something little for a friend or a family member, and that's why we did what we did.
And it's always a thoughtful gift they can find too, because there's so much variety. It's not you're looking there for a specific thing. You're going there and seeing what pops out at you.
Right. And the thing is the one thing that we strive on is obviously cleanliness, and it always smells good when you walk in. But the other thing, the biggest thing for me, is everything has to look new or be. It can't be like flea market or garage sale stuff. That's not what we're going for.
No dust.
Yeah, no dust. We're kind of a high-end secondhand store, with reasonable prices. And that's our motto. That's been since day one. When my mom and I were talking about doing this, this is the things that we have to stick to. And we have. And I think
done a great job with it.
I think that's what's keeping us going,
Well, I'm looking forward to coming there a lot more often.
Good.
So I think that's everything that I was curious about. I hope everybody got some value out of that.
Hopefully.
I know I did.
Yeah, good.
I know I did. So I'll leave you there. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you for coming to talk to me here.
Thanks, Carl. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.